Hi everyone, my name is Rebecca, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be ranking Cassandra Clare books. First, I had this idea to rank V.E. Schwab's books because I'm in the middle of reading all of them. But then I was like, I have a load of Cassandra Clare books, which I've read all of already, so I said, why not? So there's a couple things I need to mention before I get into it, and number one is, these are just my opinions, not everyone's going to agree, you don't have to agree. That's perfectly fine. You can like Cassandra Clare books, you cannot like Cassandra Clare books, you can like a particular series more than another. It's fine. Which kind of brings me on to number two is, I know I have some very unpopular opinions about her series, and that's okay. I know most of you will probably disagree. And kind of number three is, while yes, her writing obviously has gotten better with time, she's a character-driven author. If you like her characters, you're probably going to like the books. And for me, a lot of her newer books, even if they're well written, they don't have the same connection with me. And so you'll see a lot of newer books maybe lower down than you would put them. But that's, again, all personal preference. And then lastly, there's a couple books that I'm not including in this. So obviously like the graphic novels and the mangas, which I actually haven't read. And then also just the Shadowhunter Codex, which I have signed. Oops. And also the illustrated books, because there's not really any point to putting those in because there's not like plot to them. So let's get into this. It's been like 2 years since I've read a lot of these, so my ratings and my reasoning behind my ratings is not 100% clear, and so you kind of just have to go with it because that's what I'm doing. I just know that some I prefer more than others, and yeah, sorry about that. So in 17th position, and my least favorite that I've read, is an unpopular opinion, and so that is Queen of Air and Darkness, the final book in the Dark Artifices series. This follows Emma Carstairs and Julian Blackthorne, their parabatai. It starts fairly simple. Emma just wants revenge for her parents' murders because she doesn't think Sebastian was responsible for it, and then Julian just kind of wants his family back together, but you know, the Clave is like, no fairies. So, and then it, you know, opens up a lot from there. And I just didn't enjoy this as much as I thought I would. I felt like it kind of recycled a lot of the same, like, tropes and stuff. With one thing I will say is I really loved Kieran, which I hated him in the first book. I didn't mind him in the second, and then by the end of this, he's my absolute favorite character from this trilogy. So I guess that's one good thing that came out of it. I would say that this is a 3 out of 5 star book for me. There's a part where the middle section, kind of trying to keep it spoiler free, I felt that was very similar to something that happened in City of Heavenly Fire. So I was kind of just like, been here, done that. And so then, and then I just thought the ending was kind of really, really bad. And I thought it was kind of a bad way to finish the series because I had been expecting like something really huge, and then it was really anticlimactic in my opinion. So that's going down last. So then number 16 is going to be City of Ashes. Maybe a slightly more popular opinion. I think people can agree that her earlier books, you know, not the best writing, whatever. I still, obviously, I enjoy all of these books. Again, this is another like 3 out of 5 star for me. So, this is just, I think the reason why is this is so low is the incest, not incest thing. Like, I also knew before I read this book that they weren't brother and sister. I don't think that's a spoiler at this stage because that's been spoken about a lot. So, I knew. So it didn't bother me as much, but if I didn't know, I would have been really grossed out. But yeah, so again, so in case nobody knows, the Mortal Instruments, it follows Clary Frey, and she's kind of seeing these things that she shouldn't, and then she, you know, gets dragged into this world. She meets, you know, mysterious bad boy, and yeah, and the whole world is full of demons and angels and vampires and all of that stuff. If none of you knew what the Mortal Instruments were about. But yeah, so I don't think that's her strongest book. That's fine. And then I think it struggles with a bit of middle book syndrome, which it's fine, that's fine. And so then in 15th place is City of Fallen Angels. So this is the 4th book. Again, even though it's not technically like the middle of the second trilogy, which in case you didn't know, the first 3 books were supposed to just be finished, but then it got extended, 3 more. So I think that it's really just kind of a bridge from the first trilogy to the second. And I think you can really tell in it. For me, it's really just a filler novel. It's just all set up for the next 2. And like, that's fine. Like, it's necessary sometimes. But for me, it was just a little boring. So yeah. Again, that's about a 3-star book, I think. And so then, for, again, another unpopular opinion, Lord of Shadows, which is the 2nd book in the Dark Archfices series. Archfices. I'm going to just keep alternating, aren't I? So, again, as I said with that one, I liked the first book, which you'll see later. The 2nd and 3rd book, they went off in a direction that I didn't really like. And so, like, they're not bad books, and I can tell that they're better written than the Mortal Instruments. But for me, I just didn't connect to the characters as much as I have with, like, the characters in the Mortal Instruments, which is fine. Because I say so. So, that was book 14. Yes, that was book 14. So then book 13 is going to be the Bane Chronicles, which is a short story collection following Magnus Bane through... It starts in what year? It starts in the 1700s, late 1700s, and then it follows him all the way up to, you know, the Mortal Instruments times. And so, if you love some Magnus Bane, read it. Like, it is fun and all of that. I would say this is like a 4 stars, maybe 3. Yeah, maybe a 3. The thing is, with short stories, it's very hard to judge because some of them I remember really liking, and then others I basically was skimming through because they just didn't interest me that much. But if you are reading the series and you're finished and you want something else and you haven't read these, they're great additions, and they do add some nice, you know, like backstory and stuff. So that was number 13. Yes, it was. Then number 12 is the one that started it all, City of Bones. So the first book in the Mortal Instruments series, as I said, follows Clary and Jace and also her best friend Simon, and then, you know, she meets, you know, Izzy and Alec and all of them. So yeah, I think a lot of people do say that this is her worst book. As you can see, it is fairly low down on this list, but I think the nostalgia connected to it is not going to allow me to put it any lower, so it's going there. And I would say that that's a 4-star book for me. So I really should reread them again. It's been 2 years, but there's so many of them. There's 17. Number 11 is City of Lost Souls. So this is the 5th book. So as I said when I was talking about City of Fallen Angels, I felt like that was filler and it was just setting up to this one. And like, it did a good job of setting up because I do remember enjoying this a lot more. This is kind of the one where we're split off into kind of 2 groups where there's like Simon, Izzy, Alec, and Magnus on one, and then there's like Clary, Jace, and then also Sebastian. And so I remember really enjoying it, but again, I think it's not a 5-star. I think it's another 4-star for me, but solid, I think. And so then the next one, which is number 10, again, I think I'm going to be a bit of an unpopular opinion here when I say Chain of Gold. So this is her newest book. So this is the first book in the Last Hour series. It follows the children of the characters in the Infernal Devices. So I had a couple of issues with this. I can't really say a lot of them because they're spoilers. There were some kind of consistency issues I saw. Like only 2, I think, maybe 3. And then just, again, as I said, I think it's just, I feel like we've been there, we've seen that, she's done that. And for me, like, the love triangle, please stop putting love triangle... Oh my god, I can't even speak. Please stop putting love triangles in your book because I can't stand them anymore. And To me, they felt so unnecessary. I just didn't really connect to the characters that much. Again, a lot of them felt like characters we've seen before. The only one that I really, really loved was Jessie Blackthorne, but I did enjoy Lucy Herondale, Anna Lightwood, and Christopher Lightwood. And then also, another unpopular opinion, is that I really found Grace interesting. Well, like, she doesn't do the greatest stuff in here, but she was one of the most interesting characters in my opinion. So I'm excited to see more of her. So then number 9 is another short story collection. It's Ghosts of the Shadow Market. So this one follows Brother Zachariah, who's a silent brother, and if you don't, I'm pretty sure everyone who's watching this probably does, because why would you click onto it otherwise? But if you didn't know, he's a silent brother. So silent brothers in this world, they are kind of like the doctors and stuff, but they kind of don't age, or at least not as fast. They age like extremely slowly until kind of they're like literally not able to do anything anymore. So so obviously because of that near immortality, this follows characters from The Infernal Devices, The Last Hours, and all of the other series. And it's also setting up for The Wicked Powers, which is supposedly her last series. So yeah, and also it does do some nice setup for that. I feel like if you don't read, especially like 2 particular stories in this, you will be a little confused about Chain of Gold. Like, I think you could get it, but I think it does help to read the 2 stories, which is Cast Long Shadows and Every Exquisite Things. So yeah, that was number 9. So this chair looks like it's about to collapse. So then book number 8 is City of Heavenly Fire. This is the final book in the Mortal Instruments series, so book number 6. I remember I read this in about a day and a half. I just did nothing apart from read, eat, and sleep. I did sleep. But I remember just absolutely devouring this, and it is a big book. So I guess that's probably a reason why it's so high, because I just remembered being so absorbed in this world, in this final book. And I think it's a satisfying conclusion to the whole series. So that's why it's up so high. Also, I totally remembered I forgot giving ratings to books, so that's probably a 5-star. I would say that is a 4-star. Did I say that's a 4-star? Yeah, I'd say that's a 4-star. That's 4-star. I don't know how far I went. That's also 4-4. Legs. Book number 7 is Lady Midnight. So this is the first book in Dark Artifices. So as I said, this follows Emma and Julian. This book, I actually really enjoy this. It's like a 5-star book. And I think it's because of the way, like, it was, you know, watching, like, Mark try and, like, reuniting with the family and all that stuff. I think that might be one of the reasons I liked it. I think it just had some really great moments that I just didn't feel the same in the later books. So, yeah. Can I move this chair back? I can. So, then, book number 6 is City of Glass, which is the 3rd book. So this is the last book in this series that I'm talking about. I don't know why I put this above City of Heavenly Fire, really. I remember when I first read it, I would have said City of Heavenly Fire I preferred, but during my last reread, I definitely preferred this to that. Not by much, but again, this is like a conclusion to the original trilogy in the Mortal Instruments. And again, it's a really good conclusion. I actually really liked Valentine as a villain, probably more than Sebastian. And so I just really enjoyed this. And yeah, so it's going way up there. Okay. You can no longer see the books. So then book number 5 is another short story collection. It's Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy. This one all follows Simon Lewis, who is my favorite character from the Mortal Instruments series, and one of my favorite characters in all of these books. I think probably because I relate. And so it follows after City of Heavenly Fire in this, and let me tell you, the last story in this, I was not impressed. It hurt. Just giving you warning there. Yeah, I think I enjoyed like every single story in this book. In the other short story collections, there was ones that I wasn't as interested in, but with this one, I don't think there was one that I didn't enjoy. So it's going up as number 5. You can't see it. It's there. This stack might collapse. So then book number 4 is The Red Scrolls of Magic. So this is by I'm gonna just leave them. This is by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. It follows Magnus and Alec in between the events of, is it City of Glass and City of Fallen Angels? Or City of Fallen Angels and City of Lost Souls. One of the two. Again, so as you can probably tell from this list, some of the more recent books haven't been my favourite, but this is like my favourite most recent Cassandra Clare book, because, and I think it is because I had already been known and loved these characters, and there was something different about it. I didn't feel like the same thing again and again, and it just felt like something new, and so I'm really excited for the next one, and I hope that it kind of might get another 5-star Cassandra Clare book again, please. And so then we're at the top 3, and you may have noticed already that there has been one entire trilogy that I haven't mentioned in this whole video, because they're all the top 3, and those are The Infernal Devices. I know I probably should have tried to like not put all 3 of them, but I literally couldn't. So that's Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Princess. If you didn't know, it follows Tessa Gray as she comes to Victorian London, and she discovers that she can shapeshift, and so she gets dragged into all of the Shadowhunter messiness. And I literally don't even have words. Should I try and rank? I don't even think I can rank these 3. I will say, definitely when I first read them, nope, not that one. Clockwork Prince. No! Clockwork Prince. Oh my god. Just look down. Clockwork Prince was my least favorite, but every time I reread it, I love this book more and more, as well as all of the other books. I also really loved Will Herondale, and I liked Jem Carstairs as well, but I was like, Will! And again, every time I reread, I loved Jem more and more. I also still love Will, obviously. So I adore the main characters, I adore the side characters. I know that there's faults in this, I can see them, but I literally don't care, because it's a story that just sticks with me, and it messes me up every time, like it makes me cry. And because I reread them before Chain of Gold came out, and I was just on the bus and I was like, I wasn't even on a sad part, and I just started tearing up because I was like, I love them so much. And no books have ever done that to me since then. They're just the best. So I'm not even actually going to even rank these 3. They're all just the best. Well, I'll put Clockwork Princess as number 1 because it is signed. So I just genuinely adore these. I literally can't form one like reasonable thought about them. But as I said, I know that there is fault in them. I'm not blind to them. I can see that like the plot isn't the greatest, or the villain isn't. He's kind of a bit of a cartoon, but I literally don't care, because the characters like just like their whole journey just is the greatest, and I love them so much. So yeah. My tower collapsed. I might rebuild it and just show you the final stack, but so here's all 17 of Cassandra Clare's novels ranked from the worst, Queen of Air and Darkness, to the best, which I put as Clockwork Princess. Again, as I said, the top 3 kind of don't really matter to me, because I just love them all. And also share what your opinions are. Maybe you don't have to rank all of them, but maybe share like your top 3 or something. I do hope you enjoyed this awkward attempt at a video and this huge mess. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.